Okay. So we were supposed to come up with some options for how do we handle the situation where, and I'll go ahead and run this, when we want to change the name of our uh, one of our roles, right? So right now it should bring up, and it should hopefully remember some of our roles from last time. So we have a situation like this, but right now there's only one way to click on a table row. All right, so when you click, you got to do something related to that. Now, realistically, if we're running our app and we do a click, we probably want to just go ahead and do a roll, right? As opposed to, I mean, we could certainly do this. We could have it take us to another screen that either has a button that says roll on it or has a button that says edit on it, and allows us to try to make some changes. Okay, but if we want to just be able to quickly, do a roll, what are some options we came up with for our interface to allow us to have the option to edit these names so they're no longer NA? Go ahead.
You can click on them and pop up an alert saying that it doesn't have like field entered for the name, and then it'll give you click on a button in that alert and just take you to the name and you can select one.
Okay, so you could build into the logic for this guy to roll if it has a name, and if it doesn't have a name, if the name is n/a, it pops up an alert giving you the opportunity to put it in, right? So I don't even know if you have to have an alert for that. I think you could just click it and it just slides you to another screen that allows you to enter the name. Okay. Well, what if you want to? How does that going to help us if you want to change the name of an old one? So that's kind of assuming that that we're going to fix n/a's for names. So if we want to change the name for old ones, then we have to do it.
I found online like if you press with pressure, it puts up a context menu, and we can do that for name change and deletion of the role if you don't need to do name.
Okay. So, but that has nothing to do with the table view. That has to do with the screen itself. So an interface controller itself, we can have a context menu kind of attached to it. Now, on that context menu, we can have, I think it's up to three options, four options that we can have attached to it for doing different things. So essentially what we could do is on this screen, it wouldn't be based on an individual role. We would press and hold, do our force touch. It would then pop up a context menu that would ask us, maybe for us right now, do you want to edit something that already exists or do you want to delete something that already exists? Something like that, right? But then from there, we'd have to then go and handle the picking of which thing are we going to delete, which thing are we going to edit, right? Okay. So, anything else? Any other suggestions besides the context menus? So would you say that based on your research, the way that we can use force touch on the Apple Watch is through the context menu? That seems to be what I found. Anybody find an alternative to that? Anybody have an alternative suggestion to context menus? Okay. Now, we are already generating a table view of options, correct? I mean, what we have here on our main screen is really what we'd want to have on the what do you want to delete, what do you want to edit screen, right? Okay, we just want the clicks on there to mean something different. Okay? So with a context menu, could we put this screen into a mode? So rather than take us to a different screen, we're either in roll mode, edit mode, or delete mode. If we're in roll mode, we click on any of these things, it rolls. If we're in edit mode, we click on one of these things, maybe it gives us a pop-up asking us if we want to edit it, or just takes us to the screen to edit it. Maybe it's that, takes us to the screen to edit because we're in edit mode. If we're in delete mode, maybe it gives us the alert saying, are you sure you want to delete this dude? Something like that. So we can do everything from this one screen, right? All right, so let's start off by getting a context menu to pop up, okay? So let's jump into the documentation here. Oh, yeah.
Read us the review. For all
I read it in the previous class.
I know, but not everyone was in that class.
They can read it themselves. We got important stuff to do. Apple Watch Plus, I'm still full from eating human. Recorded Christian worldview.
Human.
Oh, Beyonce Prime. Let me talk to you after class. Oh, it's not bad. Just I have information to pass on, and I don't want him to run off.
Did you have a chance to watch that video yet?
No, I've been too busy eating humans and taming dinosaurs. Christian
You
worldview.
should really watch that video.
It's really good.
All right, I will. I'll watch it. Yeah, see, I think it is 3.
It says 4 somewhere in there.
Are you lying?
I think it's many
Up to 4 actions.
Look, right under the picture. Right under, no.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah, right there.
whoa, oh, there it is.
Oh, up to 4 actions. I'm sure it's a typo. Who's bound to be right? Apple's documentation or me?
Well, you're not wrong, so it just.
Ever. Christian worldview. All right. So let's go ahead and let's just get an initial context menu popping up so we can kind of understand how this guy might work. So I think we just drag it onto the interface controller first. So we are gonna while we're designing it, we can drag one of these guys on there, and then we can actually set up the context options. So let's go ahead into our Xcode, and we'll do it on this screen here. And let's find that dude. Menu right here, this guy. So we'll go ahead and we'll drag a menu out here. And I think we just drag it somewhere on here. So it's part of the interface, but it's not necessarily part of the, we won't see it on there. It's just a thing. Okay, it's kind of behind the scenes. So now we're going to go ahead and design our menu. And we're going to say we have 3 items for this one. And for us, we're going to go ahead and we're going to say, so this menu item, let's say this guy is roll. This guy is edit. This guy is delete. I gotta tell you, that curry from the cafeteria today is sitting funny.
Are you sure it's not the human? Could just be the human.
I don't think curry ever sits well.
Right. Did any of you have the curry in the caf?
We know better.
Really? It tasted really good. But I got weird, like not like normal stomach pains, like structural problems. It's like something's like pushing out of my rib cage. What if there was eggs in there?
Scene of Men in Black.
Yeah, well, that's Alien, right? Or the
Men in Black.
unless it's the end scene from Spaceballs.
Oh,
Remember that?
wait.
You seen the movie Spaceballs?
Yeah.
The guy breaks out at they're in the diner
Oh,
at the
yeah.
end, and the thing's doing the song and dance.
Yeah. That's a spoof of the Men in Black thing.
No, Spaceballs came out way before like
Yeah, you're right.
Will Smith was almost born.
Spaceballs is what? 1980s?
It came out before the first Men in Black by a long time.
I'll give you that.
Will Smith was likely alive, but it was out way before that. Okay, so we added our context menu. We went ahead and just gave some options there. Looks like we can associate images with each of these two. So let's see, we have some default images. So we can do is roll like a play button, and delete is the trash button. And what's edit? Is edit, do they have like an edit button?
Those are just built-in icons.
Apparently.
Do edit as info?
More.
All right, well, let's see what it looks like. Let's just get something looking, get something working. Okay, so hopefully we can do a force touch on the
You
To
just
watch.
have to go to hardware and then force touch pressure, but it was deep.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah.
All right, so hardware, force touch pressure. Oh, so our all right. All right, there we go. So we
Actually,
have
the edit looks really good.
so we have roll, we have edit, and we have delete.
Yeah, those are good picture choices.
Well, obviously, All right. So now we want to be able to handle events associated with these. So these guys are effectively buttons, right? Oh, total curry. Something almost happened. If I puke in my laptop, we're going to keep going.
That'll be the second class that we have.
No, the other one I didn't make it to class. That was in my office. That was when I first started my supplements. That was really funny. There was so much of it too. No, I'm not going to.
Classic last line.
Classic
No, I'm not
Going
last
to
line.
now.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's give ourselves a function for dealing with these guys. So we have IB actions associated with this. So let's go ahead and just steal this IB action and then we'll edit it. I think we actually can probably do a drag selector and have it build the IB action for us if we do the drag thing, but that's going to be a nuisance if we do it for 3. So let's go into our WatchKit app and our WatchKit extension, and that's our example stuff. Here's our code behinds. We want to go into our main screen. Let's slide this out of the way. So let's go ahead. We're going to create a section here for context menu actions. So we'll just paste one of these guys here, and let's call this guy the roll button. Let's see, actually, let's do roll context button pressed. And then let's just go ahead and say print roll. Just prove that each one's kind of doing the thing we think it's going to do. And then we'll create these for our edit and our delete. Okay, so we have our actions associated with these, and now let's go ahead and connect those actions up. So we go back into our storyboard. And we'll go ahead and click on each of our roll. Actually, let's do this. So I'm going to click on our interface controller. We'll scroll down, and here's those received actions. So let's go ahead and let's drag the roll one to our roll menu item. We'll drag the edit to our edit menu item, and we'll drag the delete to our delete menu item. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do our force press and then click on each of those dudes and make sure the right crap prints out. All right, so let's go ahead and run this, and let's see if we're still doing deep tissue massage instead of Swedish. Christian worldview. Recorded. All right, so we're on, yeah, we're still on deep pressure. All right, so there's our context menu. So let's go ahead and click roll. What row? Oh, maybe we don't get it when we're on the screen. We only get the slide up.
Do you have to take it off of deep press again?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, was this not?
Right. Does it not recognize deep press?
Hey, you're right.
You have to
Good
switch
catch.
it back,
It looks like, though, it's a pretty easy. It's what? Command Shift 1, Command Shift 2. So we're so we do Command Shift 2 is deep. Command Shift 1 should be edit. Shift 2 deep. Command Shift 1. Okay, so we're dealing with each of our things now. It's kind of annoying, isn't it? But I guess there's not a way around it with the simulator. But you think if they went out of their way to do that, they can allow us to fake the voice dictation?
Oh, for sure.
Because I mean, the Mac supports voice dictation. So And what's even worse is, and I'm not sure if this is a, I tried to, I grabbed the Xcode 7.1 beta and tried to put the app on my watch with iOS 9.1 beta 5 on my phone. And when you plug it in over and over again up here, it says, it shows my device, but it says that the paired watch is not like available for development. Apparently this is a known problem. They say you just got to keep unplugging it and plugging it in. And so I just kept doing that. And after about like 20 times, I decided, okay, this doesn't seem to be working. So I don't know if this is a complete long-term problem or it really has to do with the fact that I'm running the beta. So I might just break down and put a release OS on my phone, which doesn't feel right, but I'll do it anyways. That way we can actually test the voice dictation. But let's get our interface stuff working first. Okay.
Do it on my phone.
Huh?
Do it on my phone.
Well, I guess that's true. We could. You're running a release version of the OS on your phone?
Yeah, for 6 hours.
I just lost respect. Who runs non-beta software on their device they want to rely on?
Sure, custom ROMs. I don't know if you count that as.
I've had my phone, actually it only woke me up once. I told you about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other day my phone turned off my alarm arbitrarily. I use it as my alarm clock. But woke me up to tell me. Goes, hey, awesome fat. I have disabled your alarm. Like,
I would be creeped out.
it's like 4 in the morning. My wife just starts laughing. She was.
Did you mumble something in your sleep to Siri?
I have had that problem where I keep activating Siri. Like I'll be in the middle of a conversation, all of a sudden I see just a huge wall of text showing up on here, and then Siri thinks I'm dictating something.
Well, are you sure you're accessing Siri and somebody's not hacking your phone?
I'm not sure, but it's still funny.
I don't know if you read that thing. If you got headphones plugged into your phone, it's vulnerable.
Well, pretty sure anybody who decides they're going to run a beta OS is pretty much just opening themselves up to vulnerability. I think it's funny. Okay. So we have our 3 IB actions, each going with a different thing. So we probably want to go ahead and in our interface controller dealy thing here, we probably want to have a thing at the top, maybe a label that tells us what mode the table's in currently. So maybe by default it's in roll mode. Otherwise we can kind of shift the mode around. So I'm going to go ahead and let's throw a label on here. I'm going to put it underneath our roll button, add roll button, so it's kind of linked with the table itself. And let's go ahead and we will make this guy the same width as relative to container. Let's go ahead and center it, and let's go ahead and say mode roll, like that. All right, so by default, we're going to have it in roll mode. So now we need to kind of have a variable associated with this so we know what kind of mode that we're currently in with this guy, okay? Because as we do our context menu, we want that label to change, and then we're going to also then write the logic behind it that actually makes that change mean something when we click buttons, okay? Okay, so the idea here is going to be we first need an IB outlet to access this this label. Can labels change color? We do have text color. Boom.
Ooh, pretty. Make it deep blood red.
All right, we'll leave it green. That'll add a little color to our screen. Good enough. Okay. So let's go ahead and give ourselves an outlet for this guy. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to click there. Main screen. We'll do control click here, drag it into there. It's an outlet. Let's call it cur mode let's call it the mode. That's, I don't know, I just like those variables. The mode label. We'll go ahead and connect that. Go back into our code here. Now, by default, the mode label already has some text. Now, we're going to give ourselves another variable up here. And this variable is going to be var curmode is equal to role, let's say. Okay. Now, when they start hitting this context stuff, we want to go ahead and we want to change that variable. So we'll say self.curmode is equal to role if they click the role one. Self.curmode is equal to edit if they click the edit one. And self.curmode is equal to delete. All right. Now we probably want to go ahead and give ourselves a function that updates that label that we can call from each of those guys. All right. So let's give ourselves a func update mode label. And this will be self.theModeLabel.setText equal to mode:\self.curmode. Is that how we made it look originally with a space, mode space? I think so. Let's just confirm. Mode space, mode colon space. Did I put the colon in there? Mode colon space. Okay. And then each one of these, after we've updated that variable, we'll go ahead and call self.update mode label. We could have done that one line in each of those, but might as well just have a function that does that in case we decide that updating the mode label requires us to do something extra next, beyond what we're doing right now. Okay, so right now what we should see is that mode label toggle between the different three things, right? So we'll go ahead and run this.
When you leave that context menu, does that call the will activate again? Do you know?
That's a good question. I'm guessing no. But actually, you know what? I just changed my guess. I'm guessing yes. Let's kind of view and see what it looks like when it pops up. I don't know if it's popping up over the on the screen or over the screen.
You got transparency.
So let's see. What is it? Command-Shift-2 is hard press. Command-Shift-1. All right, so let's click Edit. So now it's mode Edit. Command-Shift-2 hard press. Command-Shift-1 delete. And let's just make sure it switches back to roll as well.
Too hard to press.
What did you do? I kind of hit caps lock at the same time there, so I may have done something funny.
I think it'd be in your keyboard shortcut.
I wonder maybe if on the new the newer Macs do the new laptops have Force Touch yet?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Well, I know they had the full.
I wonder if you can depress on those ones.
Well, that's what I mean. If it'll detect that you're on that model and it doesn't require the thing, it'll. What is?
Does it require it? Does it force it? Oh wait, no, it wasn't the 15-inch. Yeah, is it?
Yeah, this is Force Touch. I haven't used it at all though.
Well, try it. See if you don't have to switch between the shallow and deep.
What is happening? All right. So now we'll click Edit. So we're in Edit. Then we'll click Delete. Now we're in Delete. Then we'll click roll. Now we're in roll. Okay, it seems to toggle. I think something just zigged when it should have zagged. All right, so we're toggling this guy back and forth. Now, when we do a soft press on one of our menu items here, we wanted to make a decision based on what mode we're currently in. Okay, so let's go into our code here. And did I already add the function for did select? Yep, we did. So let's go ahead. So right now we're coming into this code here that we have selected something, and we want to make different decisions based on whether or not we're rolling or not rolling. Correct? So let me go ahead and just steal our alert real quick. So we can finally write our did select things. So let's go into the example stuff. Table. Did we have an alert here? Yep, here we go. Yeah, this will work. So go back into our main screen here. I'll go ahead and give ourselves this alert here at the top. Let's call this guy roll alert. Okay. And then what is it? Just look real quick. Oh, we never actually used alert in there. Let's go back to this guy then. Present alert. Okay, there we go. So come in here, and now when they click the button to select a row, if cur_mode is equal to roll, we want to actually do a roll. Else if cur_mode is equal to edit, we're going to do whatever it means to edit. Else if cur_mode is equal to delete, we'll do whatever it means to delete. Okay, so initially for our roll, we're going to actually generate our roll. So we get a random number, right? And then we'll create an alert. So let's see, let's steal our code for our random number here. Okay, so our actions here is actually going to be roll alert, right? Let me change the name of that guy. And here's our roll. The message is going to be, okay, so when we click on this particular guy, we need to get the roll associated with this. All right, and the roll associated with this is going to be stored inside of, we have some, what are they called, support objects. We have a roll, and right now a roll has a quantity and a number of sides. We have a toString, but we probably want to go ahead and build the ability for a roll to roll and give us an answer, right? So let's go ahead and say func roll and have this guy spit out a string, let's say. All right, and so this guy's going to have a that was a good one. All right, so this guy's going to have a quantity, so we're going to do something so many times. So we're going to start off with answer is going to be equal to the empty string. For var I is equal to 0, I is less than self dot quantity, I plus plus. Maybe I should have used something. Each time through, we're going to roll our dice. So I think what we'll probably do is we're probably going to do something like this. So we'll start off like I'm thinking, have our individual roles inside of square brackets, and then maybe an arrow looking thing, and then the actual total. Reasonable enough way of representing this. So what we'll go ahead and do is we're going to have a var total is equal to 0. Thank you. Okay, and then we need to say var, actually we can do that inside of here. So we'll say let curl equal, what's our code for random? Rand mod 4 plus 1, so rand mod sides plus 1. So rand mod sides plus 1 will be an individual roll. And what will we do with that roll? We're going to say answer is equal to that roll so let's do curl followed by a well, before that's going to be our answer. So answer followed by curl followed by a space. So we'll do that. Might look a little funky. We might have an extra space in the front or the back or something, but good enough for hand grenades. Okay, so that's going to be answer. In the end, we're going to say answer is equal to answer with a closing square bracket. That guy right there. In fact, actually, having said that, I should probably do this. We'll put the space. Ew, I don't want the space there. Leave it alone. It's fine. Okay. So that will finish off answer. So now what we need to do inside of here, we need to say total plus equals curl. And then in the end here, after we give our answer, we're going to then have that little arrow and then total. And then we'll return answer. Use, oh, it's self.sides, or no, self.num sides. Self.num sides. Can't be applied to what? Operands of type int32 and int, so this guy needs to be a int version of that. Rand, trust us, it's a real value. I thought it wasn't optional. Oh, converting a string into an int returns an optional. Int32 to an int doesn't. All right, so this will get our cur roll, tack it onto our rolling answer. This is Christian worldview. Increment total, and then finally update answer and return the final answer. So now what we can do is inside of our code here, so close that, go into the main screen. Now what we can do is if we know that a particular row was selected, we know the row index, we can say the roll, and then the message we're going to put in here is going to be whatever's returned by, what is it called, dice roller core dot the rolls at index row index dot roll, whatever that guy returns. All right, then preferred style, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So as long as we're in roll mode, now this guy should roll. So there's our roll, 22635,313 for a total of 25. That was when we roll an 8d6. Here's a 2d12. 12 and 2 for a total of 14. Legit-ish. Okay. Now, if we're editing, we need to, well, let's just do some pop-ups first. So, well, I'm just going to give us placeholders for right now to show it's working visually, because I'm not doing all this for you guys. This is part of this going to be your homework. So that's actually the delete one, right? This is the edit one. Okay, so for right now it's on roll, so we need to do Command-Shift-2, click, Command-Shift-1, let's do edit. Then we'll click on one of these guys. He now knows we're trying to edit, right? So we're detecting that. Then for our delete, I wonder what Control-Shift-4 does. Oh, that's not in the simulator, that's in the machine itself for capturing a part of the screen. So we'll do delete. Delete gives us a pop-up. Okay, so now a couple things we want to be able to do here. We have this pop-up. Now, does a delete make sense for, does a pop-up make sense for delete? Probably, but we need to know whether they clicked OK or cancel. Correct? All right, so as opposed to our other guy, edit probably should do what? Get to another screen that allows them to do whatever it is it's going to do. Okay. So, but let's look at delete. So now we need to have this this alert for delete. Maybe we say confirm delete. Actually, let's just say the title is delete. And here we'll put some pretty asterisks on either side, so they make sure they know what they're doing. And then we'll say confirm delete, the question mark. And we'll give it the style. Then the actions are going to be our roll alert. Well, what's roll alert? Roll alert was our alert guy up here, which is a WK alert action, which says OK. Has a style associated with it. For right now is the style cancel, although we put the button that says OK. And then we have a handler. Okay. What I'm going to do here inside this handler is I'm going to do a println clicked OK. Except it's got to be a print. They did away with println, right? Alright, so what's this called again? What kind of animal is that? Closure. Alright, so this is actually the code that will handle this particular alert action being clicked. So we want to be able to prove that we did something here. So what are we going to do? I'm going to go ahead and run this. And we'll, actually I guess it doesn't matter what mode we're in. We're currently in roll mode, so I'll click. It'll take us to the context menu. When I hit OK, it's going to call that exact same alert that we would be calling for delete right now, right? So I'll hit OK, and notice it had clicked OK. We were able to respond to that guy. Okay? So now what we need is we need to manage these guys a little bit. So when we're doing a normal roll, we just want it to say OK and not do anything in response, right? But we might give them an again button to roll the second time. That might be kind of an interesting thing to do down the line. Not rocket science, but you know, whatever. We'll just leave it alone for now. But we're going to give ourselves some additional alerts. So we have our roll alert. Now we're going to have our delete alert. So we have our delete alert cancel, which is going to say cancel. And when we cancel, we're not going to do anything special. And then we're going to have our delete alert confirm. And this guy's going to say confirm. Hopefully, both those buttons fit on the screen at once. I guess we'll find out. All right, so now we have delete alert cancel, delete alert confirm for our two options. Which one should be on the left? Which one should be on the right? Actually, maybe they're right on top of each other. I don't remember. Well, let's see what they look like, and then we can reorder. So now what we're going to do here is for our delete, rather than having roll alert show up here, we're going to have delete alert cancel, comma, delete alert confirm. We have two separate actions. Each one of those has their own code associated with it. So what I'll go ahead and do here is I'm going to come up here, and inside of our closure, we'll print cancel delete here, and we will print, I'll just type it again. Confirmed delete here. Okay. So these handlers allow those buttons to do different things. All right, this is how we can respond to those buttons inside of our alerts with actual logic. Up to this point, we've just allowed it to naturally dismiss, right? That's what every single button automatically does that after it's done our nothingness logic that we have in here. So we'll go ahead and we'll run this again now. And let's see how that cancel thing works. So I definitely want to switch the mode. So we're going to switch to delete mode. And then we'll go ahead and click on one of these guys. It pops up. Delete, confirm, delete. Do we want to confirm or cancel? Is this a good order? Should be the other order. I'm not sure it necessarily matters. Probably a coin flip. Whatever. So let's click confirm. This guy says confirm delete. If I click this, we're in delete mode. If I hit cancel, it says cancel delete. So we're in our different mode now. All right. Now, if we're going to delete something, so assuming we confirm the delete, that means that we want you to actually delete it. What does that mean we should do? Okay. Remove the current role from the table, and it should probably update our, okay. Now what do we do currently inside of our update, or generate table? Does generate table actually update our NS user defaults? Or is that currently just in will activate? Yeah, here in NS user defaults, we're doing this stuff for updating our table. This is where we're building the strings. And then we're updating our preferences. All right, so we probably want to move this stuff into a function, right? This is the stuff that updates NS user defaults. So let's go ahead and cut this out of here. Throw a function in here, func update user defaults. This guy will take no parameters. And he's just going to do the same stuff we did before. And then down here, we'll say update the user defaults, self.update user defaults. All right. So didn't change the code at all, just made it modular so we can call it from multiple places. rather than hard coding it right inside of will activate. Right? Because what's going to happen here is if we're going to delete something, we need to remove it from the roles. Then we need to fix NS user defaults and then regenerate the table. Okay? So down here, when they clicked delete, we need to remember the current row that was selected. We don't have access to that. Okay? That's a value that when we're inside of the delete alert confirm, we don't know about this. Make sense? So if I'm going to come in here and what we need to do inside this code, let's just kick this down a line here. Let's do that. Let's do that. There we go. So I probably want to delete from roles current row from the roles. So I'm going to have to say dice roller core dot the roles dot remove at index what? Make sense? We need to somehow be able to access that value. We currently don't have it. Okay, so for your homework, you're going to need to make that line work. All right. Then what will we do? We're going to say self dot update user defaults, and then we'll say self dot what do we call it? Reload. Just generate table. Yep. Like that. Okay. So let's just make sure that this guy still works. It's November. It's going to suck at least a little bit. I know we're out of time. Let me just get this. Why doesn't it generate table? Okay, well, we're going to have to look at that next time. But for your homework, make the edit screen work. So, huh? I don't think it's. I don't think it is. No, it's for some reason inside of here it doesn't know about these two functions. It's probably a scope thing. So I'll push the current code. Let me go ahead and let me just comment out this. So right now our delete doesn't actually delete, right? It does the right pop-ups but doesn't actually do anything. But I want you to make the edit work. So it should take us to a second screen, show you the the guy for the current row we selected, and then allow you to change the text and save it. Make sense? So you're still going to have to deal with that problem of which row did we actually click on, all right? But you won't have to deal with the scope issue we're having with our alert. So I'll push the code to GitHub, and then you just make the edit work. Source control, commit. All right, hold on a second. Added context menus for. Oh, hold on. Let me stop the recording too.